Raymond and Diane did everything the middle class is supposed to do. They bought a house, they bought 2 cars, they sent their kids to good schools, they took 1 vacation a year, they contributed to their 401k when they could, they upgraded their phones every 2 years, they renovated their kitchen, they got the dog their kids wanted, they made $112,000 a year combined. They are 61 years old. They have $83,000 saved for retirement. Not because they were lazy, not because they were reckless, not because they did not care. Because they did exactly what the middle class is designed to do. They consumed. And consumption, done faithfully and completely, leaves almost nothing behind. This is the middle class trap, and most people do not see it until it is too late to escape. Let me explain what it is and how it works. The middle class trap is not poverty. It is not financial disaster. It is something quieter and more dangerous. It is the appearance of success without the substance of security. It is looking fine from the outside while the inside is hollow. According to the Federal Reserve Survey of Consumer Finances, the median retirement savings for American households approaching retirement age is $87,000. The median. That means half of all households have less than that. Raymond and Diane are right at the middle. They are exactly average. Average in America means running out of money before you run out of life. The Social Security Administration projects that the average American will live to approximately 84 years old. If Raymond and Diane retire at 65 with $83,000 and draw down that savings modestly, their personal savings will be exhausted in approximately 4 to 5 years. They will be 70, still alive, still needing money, and fully dependent on Social Security. Social Security was never designed to be a retirement plan. According to the Social Security Administration, the average monthly benefit in 2024 is $1,907. For a couple, that is roughly $3,800 a month. The MIT Living Wage Calculator estimates the living wage for a retired couple in most American cities is between $4,000 and $6,000 a month. The math does not work. So how did Raymond and Diane get here? They made good money, they did not gamble, they did not have an addiction, they did not experience a catastrophic illness, they just lived like the middle class. Here is what the trap looks like in practice. It starts with the house. Raymond and Diane bought their home for $240,000 in 2003. They have refinanced twice, the first time to get a lower rate, the second time to pull out equity for the kitchen renovation, and to help their oldest child with college costs. Today they owe $187,000. They have been paying for 20 years and have barely moved the needle on their principal. According to the CFPB, when homeowners refinance and extend their loan term, they often pay more in total interest than they would have on the original mortgage. Raymond and Diane's 2 refinances cost them an additional $68,000 in interest over the life of their loans. They do not know this number. Then there are the cars. Raymond and Diane have always had 2 car payments. They lease or finance. Every 4 to 5 years, new vehicle. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics Consumer Expenditure Survey, the average American household spends over $10,000 per year on transportation. Raymond and Diane have been married 35 years. Even conservatively, that is over $350,000 spent on vehicles that are now worth nothing. $350,000. If half of that had been invested instead, $175,000 in a low-cost index fund over 35 years at an average 7% annual return, it would be worth over $2 million today. They chose the cars. The middle class always chooses the cars. Then there are the kids. Raymond and Diane put both children through college. They paid for tuition, room and board, and living expenses. According to the College Board, the average four-year cost of attendance at a public university in 2023 was over $104,000. Two children. Over $200,000. Some of that came from savings. Some came from refinancing the house. Some came from a Parent Plus loan that Raymond is still paying off at age 61. According to the Federal Reserve CF, parents who borrow for their children's college education arrive at retirement with significantly less than those who do not. The emotional instinct to give your children everything is real and understandable. But it is one of the most common ways the middle class transfers wealth away from retirement and into the next generation before the retirement account ever gets a chance to compound. Here's the part that makes the trap so effective. At every single step, Raymond and Diane made a decision that felt responsible. Buying a house felt responsible. Renovating the kitchen felt responsible. Helping their kids with college felt responsible. Keeping reliable cars felt responsible. Taking one family vacation a year felt responsible. None of it felt like a mistake. All of it felt like exactly what a hardworking family in America is supposed to do. That is the trap. The middle-class trap is not built from bad decisions. It is built from socially approved decisions that systematically prevent wealth accumulation. Every decision was endorsed by every neighbor, every family member, every bank, every car dealer, and every college financial aid office. They were rewarded with approval for every choice that quietly drained their future. According to Pew Research Center, the share of Americans who identify as middle class has been declining steadily since the 1970s. In 1971, 61% of American adults lived in middle-income households. By 2023, that number had fallen to 51%. The middle class is shrinking. People are not moving up, they are moving down. The middle class trap is eating itself. Most people watching this right now are somewhere inside this trap and do not know it yet. If that is you, or if you know someone who is working hard and still falling behind, share this video with them, not because it is interesting, because it might change the math on the rest of their life. And if this channel has given you something real today, hitting that like button takes 2 seconds and it helps more people find this before they reach 61. According to eBree, only 43% of American workers feel confident they will have enough money to live comfortably in retirement. Not enough to be wealthy, enough to live comfortably. 43%. Raymond and Diane are in that 57% who are not confident. They are beginning to understand why. Now here is what you need to understand about how to avoid this trap. Because it is avoidable. Not completely, not painlessly, but significantly. The first shift is understanding the difference between spending that builds wealth and spending that drains it. A house is not automatically an investment. A car is never an investment. College for your children is not an investment in your retirement. These are all legitimate expenses. Some of them are deeply meaningful. But they are expenses. Treating them as investments is the core error of the middle class. According to Vanguard's How America Saves report, the single most powerful predictor of retirement readiness is not income. It is the contribution rate, the percentage of income consistently directed into tax-advantaged retirement accounts before lifestyle expenses are funded. Middle-income households that consistently contribute 12 to 15% of their gross income to retirement accounts, regardless of other expenses, retire with 3 to 4 times more than households with similar incomes who contribute less consistently. Raymond and Diane contributed what was left over. The middle class always contributes what is left over. And what is left over, after a mortgage, 2 car payments, groceries, utilities, children's activities, annual vacation, and home repairs, is almost nothing. The second shift is understanding lifestyle creep. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the average household spending increases with every salary increase. This is not irrational. It feels deserved. But every dollar of lifestyle increase is a dollar that cannot compound. According to the Federal Reserve Shed, households that maintain a stable lifestyle spending percentage as income grows, meaning they do not expand lifestyle proportionally with every raise, accumulate 3 times the retirement savings of households that do. 3 times. Same income. Different discipline. The third shift is the car decision. This one is hard because cars are deeply embedded in American identity, but the math is not complicated. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the average American spends more on transportation than on food. Every new car financed over 5 years at current rates costs more in interest than it costs to simply drive an older paid-off vehicle. Driving reliable used vehicles, paid in cash, and investing the difference between that payment and what a financed new car would cost is one of the most reliable wealth-building behaviors among millionaires, according to the Federal Reserve's CF data on households with investable assets over $1 million. Fourth, protect your retirement account from your children. This is the hardest one to say, because every parent in this audience loves their children completely. But according to EBRI, parents who make significant financial sacrifices for their children's education, drawing down retirement savings, taking Parent Plus loans, refinancing home equity, arrive at retirement with dramatically less. And here is the thing that nobody says out loud. Your children have 40 years to pay off a student loan. You have 4 years of savings left before you retire. They have more time than you do. Protect your account first. Raymond is 61. He has 4 years before he hopes to retire. He is still paying a Parent Plus loan. He still has 2 car payments. His mortgage has 12 years left. His retirement account has $83,000. He is not going to retire at 65. He knows that now. Diane cried when they talked about it last month. Not because they failed, because they tried so hard. Because every decision they made was for their family, for their children, for the life they believed they were building. The trap does not punish bad people. It punishes good people who were never told the rules of the game they were playing. Here is what I want you to do. First, calculate your real retirement number. Use the rule of 25. Multiply your desired annual retirement income by 25. That is how much you need saved to sustain a 30-year retirement. If you want $60,000 a year in retirement, you need $1.5 million. If you have less than that and you are within 15 years of retirement, you need to know that number today, not when you are 61. Second, calculate what percentage of your gross income you are currently directing to retirement accounts, not what you think you are contributing. The actual percentage. According to Vanguard, the minimum effective contribution rate for a 30-year-old is 10%. For a 45-year-old starting late, it is 18 to 20%. Find your number. If you are below it, close the gap by 1% this month and 1% every 6 months until you reach it. Third, stop upgrading cars. Drive your current car until it costs more to maintain than to replace. Then, buy a reliable used vehicle with cash or as little financing as possible. Every new car financed is a bet against your retirement. Fourth, have the honest conversation with your children before they apply to college. A state school fully funded by financial aid and modest loans is a better outcome for your family than a private school funded by your retirement savings. Your children will not thank you for an expensive degree when you are 72 and they are helping you pay rent. Raymond and Diane are going to be okay. They have a paid-off home with equity. They have Social Security coming. They have each other, and they are both still healthy. They will work a few extra years. They will tighten things. But they will not have the retirement they imagined, the one they worked for, the one they believed they were building one responsible decision at a time. The middle-class trap does not announce itself. It is quiet. It is comfortable. It is built from love and hard work and socially approved choices. And by the time most people see it, they are already inside it. You are watching this now, which means you still have time. If this video opened your eyes to something you needed to hear, share it with someone who needs it too. The middle class trap works because nobody talks about it. You now know what it is. And if this channel has given you something useful today, a like takes 2 seconds, and it helps more people find this before they find themselves at 61 doing math that does not add up. Raymond and Diane did everything the middle class is supposed to do. You do not have to. If this video helped you see something you needed to see, please share it. The middle class trap works because nobody names it out loud. You now know what it is called. Subscribe if you want to keep learning things like this, and I will see you in the next one.